Today's video, we are going over a highly requested topic, and that is real estate videography. If you want to learn how to get your first high-end real estate agent on board for your videography work, the gear that you're going to need, the must-have shot list, the settings, and a bunch more tips and tricks, you're going to want to stay tuned for today's video. Coming up. Yo, what's poppin' everybody? My name's Jason Anthony for those of you who don't know me, and on this channel I like to teach you guys tips and tricks on becoming a full-time content creator. So if that's something you're interested in, please hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. This way you're alerted every time I drop a new video. So like I said, today's video, so many of you guys have been asking for it. We're finally going to go over it. How to get your first high-end client. We don't want little clients, we want high-end million-dollar homes. What gear that you have to have, and then gear that will add a little bit more zest to your videos. We're gonna go over specific settings for certain lighting situations. We're gonna go over different style real estate videos. So this is gonna be a lengthy video. In the description below, there will be timestamps. So if you wanna hop around, if you wanna come back to this video at a later time and look at just something specifically, just know in the description below, there are timestamps. Now, before we get into today's topic, I wanna tell you guys about an app that I discovered, and it wound up saving me from thousands of dollars lost pretty much. So recently I had formatted an SD card, which I thought was already backed up. Long story short, it wasn't. So I had panic mode. I know that there are different apps and softwares out there that can recover certain formatted or corrupt cards, and I did some research and I found one called Recover It. You guys might want to check it out. Just have it downloaded. It's completely free. Now, it's super simple to use. All you have to do is select which drive that you want to recover. You click on it, you hit start, and then all you have to do is sit back, relax while it recovers the lost data. Super straightforward, easy to use. Like I said, it's free, so definitely make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Okay, so let's talk about how to land your first high-end real estate agent. Well, first off, we need a sample footage. If you don't have any sample footage of shooting a property, super simple. I know you guys out there have friends or family members that are real estate agents, and if you don't, ask your friend or family member if they know someone who's a real estate agent. You're going to reach out to them and simply ask, hey, when you get a nice listing, is it okay if I come in and I will give you a free video walkthrough of the property? Super simple. So you go in, you film the whole entire property like we're gonna be going over today, and now you have a demo reel to send to other realtors. Then the next thing you wanna do is search different locations around your area that seem to be a little bit more of value. Like currently right now, I'm in Costa Mesa, so I know that Laguna Beach, Huntington Beach, if I go up north to LA, Malibu, Beverly Hills, obviously, there's a lot of locations that have higher end real estate markets. And what we need to do is simply do a little bit of R&D on the internet, find the broker offices or the real estate agents, whether it's on Instagram, using Google to search for them, and we're just gonna send them an email with our demo reel. Now, I know pricing structures could be hard. Some people don't think there's money in real estate, but there really is. You just have to remember that when it comes to making these type of videos or photo packages, it's either coming out of the seller's pocket for the content or out of the listing agent's commission. So the more money that the house is valued at, the more commission the real estate broker is going to get, which means that they're most likely going to have more funds to put towards a better, nicer property. So when it comes to pricing, like I said, it could range from $300 for like a 2-bedroom house up to $2,500 for a really nice mansion. You just have to feel it out. You go back and forth, shoot super high, let them come in. They're going to negotiate, their real estate agents. So don't undersell yourself. Shoot high, they will come back with a counter offer. The videos that you guys are gonna be seeing pieces and clips of today were about, I believe, $5 to $7 million houses. And let's just say I was between $1,000 and $2,000 for one video working for a few hours. Now, another tip going into the real estate shoot is talk to the real estate or listing agent and ask them specifically, are there any things about the property that you guys really want to have showcased? Whether there's a tennis court, a built-in pool, a really nice fireplace inside the house, anything that's going to really add more oomph to the property and have a higher selling value that most properties don't have. So just check in with the real estate agent when you go there and they unlock the house or prior to the shoot and just say, hey, is there anything specifically you want me to showcase or to not showcase? Because sometimes there's some ugly paint on the walls of a bedroom or the laundry room that they do not want being shown. So just get that rapport and talk to them, find out what they want. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the necessity when it comes to gear and then the supplemental gear that you don't need right away, but will definitely add a little bit more to your videos down the line. Now, the first is a camera. You do need a camera. I shoot my real estate videos on the Sony a7 III. You can use any camera. Just remember, some cameras produce better low light quality, and 9 times out of 10, unless you have windows completely open, it's hard to get some light in houses. So you definitely want to shoot wide open. I prefer to be around 2.8 to 3.2 or even f4. You never want to go down to 1.8, especially if you're using autofocus, because you might pick something up in the foreground and then the background's going to be blurry. If you need extra light, like on the Sony, I can trust it and bump up that ISO or change my frame rates, which we'll get into in a couple minutes. Moving on from the camera body, let's talk about the lens. My personal professional opinion, I feel like the lens is more important than the actual camera body, and here's why. When you're shooting real estate, you always want to make the house, the property, the location look bigger than life. So we have to shoot wide, whether it's photo or video. A couple good lenses for the Sony camera system that I have used in the past is the Laowa 15mm 0D. 0D stands for zero distortion. So you're wide at 15mm, and while you're panning, you're not getting weird warping effects, say if there's columns inside or outside of the home, or you're not noticing any warping on straight lines. Two other great lenses are the new Tamron 17-28 at 17mm and the 16-35 G Master at 16mm. Now, I never normally film wider than 24mm for video, except when it is for real estate videography. Now, another lens that I do suggest having is a tighter one, whether it's a 24-70, 28-75, a 50mm prime. We do want to get some detail shots, which I'll be going over shortly. It's not a must-have because a lot of the wider lenses have a minimal focusing distance. However, the tighter lenses are nice for some cool detail shots that not many people tend to get. Now, another important piece of equipment that can set you apart from the rest, even though many people have it nowadays, is a drone. We definitely want to showcase the landscape of the area. If, say, it's on a mountainside, we definitely want to come in with a nice wide shot. So there are a lot of different drone shots that we can use with our real estate videos to really get that nice establishing shot in the beginning. Like I said, it's not a must, but for whatever reason, real estate agents get a hard on when they hear that there's drones coming. Like, it's the funniest thing ever. You're also going to need a tripod, a gimbal, and not necessary, but if you do have a slider, I like to get some sliding shots, which you'll see coming up. Last but not least, I suggest if you do have an LED panel for dark situations, the LED panel is great for spreading light, bouncing it off the ceiling. This way you could expose a little bit more for the windows outside and not have to blow out the windows completely when filming. So if you're in a dark situation, instead of having to stop down to 1.8, like I said, don't do, and crank up your ISO to 3200, having a nice LED panel or an assistant holding it or just putting it on the ground and bouncing it off in the corner of the room that you can't see the light will help tremendously. Now, there are different types of shots people like to include, primarily photography, but it's really good for videography, also like twilight shots, and that's after the sun has gone down around blue hour. However, you should check to see where the sun is going to be at the time that you're going to be filming the property. You don't want the sun to be straight coming in every single window, being it's so bright out. Now, another pro tip is to download the app PhotoPills and find out where the sun will be at the time of your shoot. I either like to shoot at high noon, believe it or not, so that the sun is straight above my head and it's casting more of an even lighting throughout the interior of the house than just one side of the house having the sunlight coming in and then the other side of the house being super dark. However, sunset is the best time, 2 hours before sunset, and at the ends you go outside and you get the nice sunset shots and the really warm lighting. So just keep that in mind. Lighting does play a role when filming real estate videography. Now, if you're using the Sony camera system, I like to use Hybrid Log Gamma 3. My settings will be listed right up here in my video that I've made in the past. It's my favorite. The colors look great. They look super cinematic. There's a lot of highlight recovery in the details. It's very easy to expose, very easy to color grade. So that's what I'm using on the videos that you are watching. Now, a tricky topic is how to not blow out the windows when you're filming real estate. Sometimes you just have to. It sucks, but because our cameras aren't, super advanced, there's no way we could really expose for the interior and the exterior. That's why I like bringing an LED panel with me. It will help brighten up a room and allow me to stop down a little bit more so I could get some more detail out of the outside exterior shots as I'm filming inside. So now that we locked down our client, we know what gear we want to use, let's talk about the must-have shot lists. The first one, which you guys have probably seen a million times, is the panning establishing shot. You're normally walking towards the property outside, you start at the sky and you slowly move down to the front door. This is a classic real estate shot. It looks so good. You could do this with the drone also coming from up high and coming down low, or you could do it with the gimbal, whichever one you choose. The establishing shot for the front and backyard is a must. Now, most real estate videos are simple. You're going to go through the house. What I like to do is have somebody stand behind the door and open it as I'm walking in. It gives it a surreal feeling. It looks cool. It's like, somebody's opening it, but you don't see them. It's just a really cool shot. And a lot of these shots you probably already know of, but I just want to touch base with you guys that are new to this and get you thinking outside the box when it comes to the shots. Now, normally for a basic video, you're gonna tour the house how you would walk throughout it. You're gonna start if there's a living room in the front, and you're just gonna push in slowly. Now, when it comes to settings, I will try to use 120 frames per second. If I can't because it's too dark with my shutter speed, I'll drop it to 60. However, in the video that you guys are watching inside the mansion, we had to use 24 frames per second. So what does that mean? I'm adjusting my frame rates to allow more light in because I don't want to crank up the ISO and introduce more noise. So what I did was I dropped my frame rates, my shutter's at 1/50th of a second, and the only thing that I have to be very conscious of is my gimbal movements. Now, warp stabilizer is your best friend in these situations. However, you want your gimbal walk to be on point. Something I suggest, it's gonna sound crazy, especially if there's carpet, take your shoes off. It will absorb some of the impact. Do your ninja walk and just go nice and slow. And when I mean slow, I mean slower than you think you're actually moving. When you watch the playback and you think you're going slow, you'll actually realize that you're going faster than you thought you were. Like I said, nice, steady, and slow. So now that we're walking around the house, we're going through, we're finding a nice momentum to go through. You don't have to do one take, so you can cut this up. Push-ins and reveals off the edges of the walls are classic, and they look very, very good. They look professional, and also orbiting shots around certain areas that have large open spaces where you can really show a nice parallax of the whole room. Now, these examples look very good. They're very easy to do. And like I said, real estate videography is pretty cool because you're just chilling with your friend that say is doing photos, or the real estate agent's there just hanging out, or you're there by yourself. You put your earphones in and you go and do your damn thing. It's that simple. Now, I did mention that you can bring a slider if you have one. I like adding some detail shots. If there's a really nice fireplace or a chandelier, somewhere that we can get some depth through, like say columns on the railing of the stairs. Think outside the box, set your focusing on manual, and start doing some nice detail slider movements to accent the wide shots. I don't see a lot of people doing these type of shots. I don't know why people don't do these shots. It looks so professional, it looks so cinematic, and it really showcases the property, in my opinion, nicer than just doing wide shots throughout the entire video. All right, so now that we got the main level done, we did the kitchen, the dining room, the living room, the home office, we're gonna work our way upstairs. I like using speed ramping for certain situations when it's either going down hallways, going upstairs, or transitioning from one room to another. Just don't go crazy, make sure it's done tastefully. So we go up the stairs and now we're gonna hit the bedrooms. One thing that I have to address is that it's a lot of repetitive shots. So if you're going into different bedrooms, I like to go into a corner of the room once I do the reveal of the bedroom and do a full pan. But you don't have to do that for every single room. You could just use a reveal. It's totally up to you. However, I get a reveal and a pan in every single room. Now, if there's a balcony outside attached to a bedroom, I will go outside on the balcony and shoot from outside inside just to get a different angle, just to keep it a little bit different. Now we want to showcase all the bathrooms if they're attached to the rooms. So we're going to do the same thing, either slow push in or a slow pan. However, bathrooms and bedrooms can be tricky. You have to keep in mind for the mirrors. You have to either get down low or find an angle in the room so that your camera, your head is not sticking in the damn mirror. There's nothing worse than going through your footage, and yes, I'm guilty of this. It's happened once or twice before, where I had to go back and reshoot one damn bathroom because my big dome is in the mirror. So just try to keep that in mind. Make sure you guys are aware of any reflections or any mirrors. So you go through the entire house, you got the kitchen, the living room, the dining room, the office, all the bedrooms, the laundry room, the garage. You're gonna showcase it all. Now we wanna go outside. What I like doing is using zoom transitions. I know they're super trendy, I know they're overplayed, they're overused. However, zoom transitions are great from going inside to outside the house. So 9 times out of 10, I will zoom out from the inside of the property with an establishing drone shot of the backyard. Super simple. So we're gonna orbit the backyard, get our drone shot, showcase the nice landscape of the property for this real estate shoot, and then we're gonna go outside with our gimbal and get different detail shots. If there's a fireplace, a pool, a built-in barbecue, if there's a nice living set, get all of those detail shots. It really showcases the property. If there's a tennis court, you get the idea. Anything out of the norm, anything that the real estate agent is going to want to showcase, you definitely want to ask them going into this shoot and really showcase those details nicely for your client. So now that we went over your basic style real estate tour, we're gonna go over another type of real estate video that a lot of agents are doing lately. Now, in the field of social media, a lot of these real estate agents want to feel like they're ballers, they're influencers, and they want to do a full property tour showcasing the property. They want to walk around and talk. So you might need a lavalier kit. You might have to just walk slowly and just accent the style of the property to how they want to showcase it. So keep in mind, there's a bunch of different ways to film real estate videos, whether it's just a nice tour or you have the listing agent going over the specifics of the house throughout the video. Just think outside the box. The higher the listing value, the more creative you can get with the agent and showcase the property. Now in the sample video that you guys are watching right now, this was a build out of a new property that I was filming. We had the architect going throughout the house, showing where things are going to be, how he laid it out, what was his thought on building the property. This is different from your average real estate video. However, I plan on going back once the property is complete and doing a final video showing the entirety of the house. Now, the reason why this realtor and architect wanted me to come in and show the build is because before the house is done being built, they're gonna give the buyers an option, whether it's a 7-bedroom, yeah, I said 7 bedrooms, or a 5-bedroom. So they want to just keep that open and show the build out of this beautiful property on the golf course, showcasing the full area of it so that they can, I guess, build some sort of hype around this new property. So keep in mind, like I had mentioned, there's different creative types of videos you can do with real estate. It doesn't just have to be your basic real estate videos. And think outside the box. If there is a really cool lake next to a property, if there's a really nice community, don't be afraid to get some B-roll of those locations and add them in the video. Set yourself apart by going a little bit above and beyond. So that wraps up how to film high-end real estate properties. I know I kind of touched on a little bit of everything and didn't go too much detail into specific topics just because there's so much to cover. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I have no problem answering them. And I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was insightful. I hope it gave you some different ideas on how to film your next video, how to get your next client, and how to showcase properties better. Okay, so that wraps up today's video on filming real estate videography. If you thought this was helpful, please leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down twice. And until next time, guys, I'm Jason Anthony. I'll see you soon. Peace.